Welcome back, it's This Week in AI. Hello everyone, welcome back to This Week in AI. Today I'm joined by Rachel. We're down here at Sydney's King's Wharf on this beautiful autumn day. Rach,
hello.
Tell me about what's been on your agenda this week. Tell me about what you've noticed, what's been, what of any areas of particular interest.
Yes, there are actually. I went on a bit of a wormhole this weekend.
Oh, tell me more.
Well, I was talking to a friend, and there's a lot of skepticism, I think, about AI and how fast it's moving, and for the average person, it's a bit scary. And they were telling me about a documentary they'd watched, a film called Coded Bias from 2020.
Yes, yeah.
And it features Joy Buolamwini, who is a data scientist from MIT, and she did this interesting study with facial recognition AI. She had to put on a porcelain mask. She's African-Canadian, and she put on a porcelain mask and they recognised her. So it caused a bit of a stir at the time, and then you've got, fast forward 5 years, and you've got the Met in London using AI to augment their biometric facial recognition to create live recognition of criminals across the streets of London to help sort of prevent further crime. So, totally different situation there, and that technology has been proven by an independent body to be 89% accurate.
Right.
And it can even recognise people wearing face masks and helmets.
That's quite the jump in terms of the development of that technology, isn't it? Because I remember in 2017, the Met came under some serious scrutiny about their use of biometric recognition.
Yes. Well, it kind of gives you an idea of how fast this technology is moving.
Absolutely.
But there are two very important differences here, and Lindsay Chiswick, who is heading up that department in the Met, she talks about human in the loop being imperative, and obviously that's something at Decider that we consider important as well, very important. And what happens is the AI and the biometric facial recognition is sent to a police officer's phone, and the police officer verifies whether they actually think that is a match. Another important detail is fresh data. So the data is refreshed every morning. So if somebody is detained and put on a list and then released with no charge, they are removed from that list. So, you've got two important things, two important differences going on here. Lack of data in the first example. AI itself isn't biased. It's the data behind it that creates the bias. Essentially, you've got an algorithm working on something that is incomplete or inaccurate, and there's lots of examples of that, and it's particularly important to be accurate in healthcare and criminal justice and recruitment as well, which is something else that we look at quite carefully here, which I think is important. We've got Career One, which is a marketplace, so you've got a really broad data set there, which is potentially less biased than a business like Amazon, who got in trouble recently, well, not recently, but a few years ago, for using predictive analysis for recruitment, and they had biased data because their historical data was very male focused. So these interesting aspects. So that
we're at a very interesting time in our development of AI, especially with what's happening in the technology space, along with Trump's big beautiful bill. We're at a sort of real precipice, real
absolutely. It's an exciting time, and I think it's also so young and early days. But I think what's really important is proper governance and making sure that. I read an interesting article about agents acting as fiduciaries, so acting with honour and security and measure to keep those non-bias in place, so to speak, to make sure that you don't have sort of marketing biased agents working on you and swaying your outcomes. So I think it's a very interesting time, and watch this space.
I will.
Very quickly.
Sure will. Well, thank you for joining me today.
Thank
what
you.
A glorious day to do This Week in AI. Thanks to everyone for watching, and we'll see you again next week.